Kevin, our Colts Insider, thanks for joining us. So much to talk about on a Victory Monday. I'm getting used to these Victory Mondays.
3 in a row.
Now 3 in a row. Colts coming in hot off of the bye, getting a huge 27-20 win over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers yesterday here at Lucas Oil Stadium. Kevin, Colts are 6-5. And in the playoffs, if the season ended today, how shocked are you after everything the Colts have been through this season that they are in the playoff hunt?
Yeah, I think that's the key part right there, Angela. Everything they've been through. It hasn't been this seamless year. Jonathan Taylor misses the first 4 games. Obviously 2 different starting quarterbacks, and now you've got to roll with your backup throughout the rest of the year. Your offensive line has had some key injuries as well, the Shaquille Leonard storyline. So the fact that you are 6-5, entering December with 6 to go, I thought they'd win 7. And I think a lot of people were like, well, that's kind of on the high end of it. And right now, they look like they're going to easily eclipse that mark. So yes, very surprised, again, considering everything that's happened especially.
6 more games left. Only 2 of those have winning records right now. The Colts are in a good position to potentially get 10 wins this season. Far cry from the 4 wins of last season. A lot of that credit can go to head coach Shane Starkin. He's been huge as a rookie head coach. Kevin, what has been different about Steichen that he's been able to eclipse all of this drama and have such success as a rookie head coach?
I go back to that opening press conference, Angela, and I thought, he can be a concise communicator, but even in those kind of short, burst of words, you get a very highly intelligent individual. I think he's demanding. I think he's accountable, whether he's trying to be directly accountable or not. I go back to the Shaquille Leonard thing last week. It might not have been, hey, we're going to send a message to the entire locker room. Watch, we're going to cut this guy. But indirectly, when you cut one of your captains, you do send a message that I don't care what your status is as a player, how much money you get paid, whether you're on the side of Lucas Oil Stadium or not. If you're not meeting our standard, we're going to make some tough decisions. So the brilliant offensive mind and everything as a play caller, I think we kind of knew that. It's more of the head coaching stuff and kind of the new culture he's created that I think has really struck me.
Part of the culture is the explosiveness he's been able to instill on the offense. That's his number 1 word, Kevin. Explosive. I want to see explosive plays. Running back Jonathan Taylor finally got some of that explosiveness against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers yesterday. 91 yards, 2 touchdowns, averaged about 7 yards a carry. This was his best game by far this season. What about Taylor was able to get him to exploit the Tampa Bay defense that was one of the best run defenses in the league?
Yeah, I don't know if the day was blocked to get 15 carries for 91 yards. I don't think the offensive line maybe had this outstanding run blocking day for Taylor, but I thought he was patient. I thought he kept his legs moving, and he had a couple runs there where it looked like he was kind of bottled up, and then all of a sudden, boom, 28 kind of wiggles out of there, and next thing you know, he's in the open field. He had the big run to ice the game there late as well. And some credit to Zach Moss. He had a really nice afternoon as well. I thought it was very important. When your passing game is struggling with Gardner Minshew right now, can you lean on that running back duo? They did an outstanding job yesterday. I think both of them in kind of creating some plays on their own.
Colts going back to splitting snaps and sharing the load between Moss and Taylor, causing success against, like I said, one of the best rush defenses in the league in the Tampa Bay Bucs. We move a little bit adjacent to the Colts and talking about former Colts head coach Frank Reich, who is making headlines today after being fired from his new job in the Carolina Panthers after about a half a year at the Panthers. We remember head coach Frank Reich getting fired here in Indy about this time last year. Kevin, how surprised were you with this news today?
Boy, I would say the surprise factor it just comes from how quickly Carolina made this move. I think there was writing on the wall when you are outside looking in their ownership. David Tepper, who's been a young owner, he has clearly made a very strong stranglehold on that organization, and they're going to move on very quickly. So I would say the stunning part of it to me, Angela, was how Carolina seemingly is giving a new head coach, a new regime, a rookie quarterback, very little time. I think back to Peyton Manning's rookie season, they went 3-13. You imagine if you're pressing the panic button so early in these instances. I would read the Frank Reich book on having to be the head coach for Jim Irsay and David Tepper. I think that would be a must-read book. The fact that, again, Tepper makes this move so early in the tenure there really strikes me. Feel bad for Frank. I think he's a great guy. It sounds like this is going to be it for him in the NFL. He mentioned this a little bit earlier today. But some guys maybe built to be offensive coordinators, things like that, and just that message not resonating there. But still, I was surprised that Carolina press that button so early.
Right, early for head coach Frank Reich with the Panthers, and early for Bryce Young, who they got as the number 1 overall pick. I mean, kind of crazy.
And there's some chatter there too of that pick maybe being forced upon Frank Reich as well. So again, I think a lot of meddling.
Yeah.
And, Frank Reich can relate to that, I think, a little bit here in Indianapolis, and it sounds like he can relate to it in a big way in Carolina.
Frank Reich, write a book. Both Kevin and I are buying
Yes.
it. Thank you so much, Kevin, for breaking all that down.
Bet.